has to be you. Michael sigh. It has to be you. It has to be you. Michael sigh.
The screaming ambulance sirens pierced through the night, all the way to the ER. I was the ER doctor that night. Over the radio, the ambulance driver shouted, "The patient is a tiny baby and a placenta. I couldn't find the mother. The witness cried that the baby seemed to fall from the sky." A newborn baby, but no mother? Fall from the sky? Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guests. It was my 10th year as an emergency physician. As an ER doctor and a pretty seasoned one, I treated all kinds of patients of all ages, but never as tiny as this one. Let's call her Judy. Judy was carried in a bloody red towel. She was so small and light, just about the size of my two hands together, and barely 5 pounds. Judy for sure was a premature baby and the smallest patient I've ever treated. And where was the mother? There was no time for more questions because Judy was gasping for air. Judy was dying. I pushed myself into action. After putting her on the ventilator and starting blood transfusion, she was stabilized a bit and out of my sight for CT scans. I realized that my hands were shaking and sweating. I really doubted whether I could handle this situation or not. I kept asking myself, is Judy in good hands? Or is Judy in qualified hands? Fortunately, my best friend, Kevin, a pediatrician, was on duty that night, and he was on the way here, which gave me peace of mind. Kevin just rushed in while I got Judy's x-ray. Judy was so badly traumatized. Both of her lungs were collapsed, which needed a tube on each side to save her from imminent death. Moreover, her brain was bleeding. Kevin and I looked at each other. Time stopped for a moment because we both believed that Judy was going to die in front of us. There is hope, Kevin. The neurosurgeon is on the way, and the operation room will be ready pretty soon. As long as the 2 chest tubes are inserted right now. Kevin, you can do this, right? Out of my surprise, Kevin shook his head. Look, Michael, I know a lot about premature baby, but I have no experience at chest tubes. And you, Michael, you've done this procedure 1,000 times successfully. It has to be you. I looked around. Kevin, my nurses all looked at me and depended on me, especially the dying Judy. The clock was ticking. Ladies and gentlemen, have you ever stumbled into a critical moment and realized it has to be you? It has to be me. The answer was obvious. It has to be me. The reality hit me like a bolt of lightning, and I exploded into action. I barked the medical orders one by one. Everyone worked hand in glove to carry out my orders. Finally, we succeeded at stabilizing Judy and handed her over to the neurosurgeon with silent prayers from everyone. Baby Judy survived, but just for one more day. The trauma was just too much for her tiny body. In that cloud of sadness, I saw a silver lining, a precious lesson that Judy taught me. When I first saw Judy, honestly speaking, I was freaking out internally. She was so small and fragile. Someone else must take over instead of me. Excuses, self-doubt, and feelings of inadequacy flooded into my mind, almost crippling me. But think, it is not about whether I am the best doctor in this world to handle this. It is all about what was the best available choice at the time. I kept looking outward for the solution, but I found it by looking inward. The solution was me. At this moment, all those haunting voices of not good enough were suddenly silenced. Instead, courage, along with confidence inside, began to shine, urged me on, shattered all those ridiculous concerns. That is the precious gift that Judy gave me. My friend, what are the voices that haunt you and hold you back? What are the concerns that paralyze you and stop you from moving forward? Now, you know the secret. It has to be you to believe in yourself. It has to be you to activate the change. It has to be you. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Michael. We now